far will lead things off. Pretty much the same lineup that Mike had out there last night. Bobby Abreu DH, Torrey Hunter's in right, Vernon Wells in left, Alberto Callasco at third base, Howie Kendrick at first, Hank Conger doing the catching, Peter Borges batting eighth, playing center field, and Alexi Amarista made his major league debut last night, is batting ninth and playing second base. At starting nine, taking on the 23-year-old from Oakland, California by the name of Tyson Ross.
Tyson Ross, the guy with a power sinker, 91, 95 range, very good slider and a changeup. But his big thing, deceptive delivery. Not a lot of usage of his lower part of his body. It's all arm with him.
Ibar last night, 2 for 5, including a stolen base, hitting .350 on the year. Gets jammed here and pops one up to Kuzminov at third, one away. Take a look at the defense behind Tyson Ross. You've got Connor Jackson at left, Ryan Sweeney in center, David DeJesus is in right. In the infield, alphabet soup on the left side. Kuzminov at third, Pennington at short, Ellis is at second, Barton at first, and Landon Powell getting his first start of the series.
And Ryan Sweeney, guy we've seen left field, we've seen a right field and center field. Probably their strongest arm they have as far as an outfielder for Oakland. Being able to say that's the one guy who charges the ball very well. More apt not to try to take an extra base necessarily against him.
Bobby steps to the plate, 1 for 4 last night, and takes a strike. Abreu picking up a couple of walks. Overall hitting .244, 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. The 1 pitch, inside with a fastball. And the count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the veteran Tim Timmons calling the balls and strikes tonight. Jeff Kellogg is at first. He's the crew chief. Eric Cooper at second. Mark Carlson over at third. That pitch just off the plate. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Mentioned Tyson Ross getting the spot start in the rotation while Dallas Braden is on the shelf due to tightness in his throwing shoulder. Bobby hits one out toward left field. Connor Jackson breaking back into his right, puts it away. 2 outs. 2 outs, bases clear for Torrey Hunter. Why not eat some ice cream on a warm afternoon? Although,
especially when you drop it, you just
the afternoon of eating ice cream is now over officially. Torrey Hunter steps up to the theme song from Sanford & Sons. New walk-up music for Torrey.
He had a smile on his face.
I wonder if someone's playing a joke on him. Fastball is in there for his strike. Torrey was 3 for 5 in last night's game, including a double, his first double of the year. 5 extra base hits, 4 of which have been home runs. That's down in the dirt, bouncing that fastball in front of the plate, evens the count. Tyson Ross, a 1-2 record in 9 1/3 innings of work, 8 hits, a .482 ERA. The A's see him, as far as long-term potential, to be a starter. 1-1 is fouled back and out of play. And it's 1-2.
I've seen a lot of fly balls already here in the first inning. 5 outs, all in the air.
Ross's first 3 appearances this year gets the White Sox at 2 against Detroit. We're all in relief. First start came on April 22nd against Seattle up at Safeco. Took the loss, gave up 3 earned runs at 4 1/3. This is a young man who worked the line out of the bullpen last year. 1-2 pitch, and they got Torrey with that slider. And Ross has himself a 1-2-3 inning. 1 in the books here at the Big A. We have no score. Bottom of the second, no score. Vernon Wells to lead things off here, followed by Alberto Callasco, then Howie Kendrick. Tyson Ross with a 1-2-3 first, including a strikeout. Vernon last night 1 for 5, did pick up an RBI, his 5th of the year. As Ross delivers a fastball down and away.
Well, you have to have a real strong shoulder to be able to throw this hard with basically just your arm, not using your lower part of your body at all.
Falls behind here, 2 balls and no strikes. He has walked 8 batters, struck out 6. Struck out 7 now with that strikeout of Torrey.
That's the thing. I think it would be difficult to be consistent in the strike zone without getting over your front leg and bending your back.
Vernon fouls this one back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. He's a big guy, 6'6", 230 pounds. Grew up right there in Oakland. Went to Bishop O'Dowd High School, then on to Berkeley. Second round pick in 2008. Pitched in 26 games last year for Oakland. Had 2 starts. Was 1-4 with a 5.49. This one line to left field. It's going to hang up for Connor Jackson. 1 away. Wells struck for Wells, but nothing to show for it. 1 out here in the second. Here comes Alberto Teosco. I was mentioning in that first inning when I said that the A's would like to eventually see Tyson Ross as part of that rotation moving forward. You would think that he would be better suited, instead of being that spot starter or long guy out of a bullpen at the major league level, get a bulk of starts at AA, bulk of starts at AAA, and kind of get him ready as Teosco takes a strike.
Yeah, you would think build up that stamina in the arm. It's tough to do that when you're not consistently getting a chance to throw on the mound and stretch it out. Most pitchers you see in spring training work that stamina up.
Base hit for Teosco with 1 out here in the second. Puts a man on here for the Angels.
Yeah, you go from 50 pitches to 70 pitches to 90 pitches. You move forward that way in increments. But if you're just throwing every 8, 9, 10 days, it's difficult to be able to maintain your mechanics, and that's why you saw, when we showed the graphic, 8 walks in 9 1/3. We'll see how he's able to get on top of that. Well, it's a great view of our ex-Foxmo as far as release point for him. Getting out in front and snapping that slider off.
Now he takes inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Ross with a total of 15 starts between AA and AAA in his career. 9 starts at AA in 09, 6 last year at AAA. But in the big leagues, it's been pretty much just a spot starter. Howie gets jammed, hits a 1-hopper to second. Ellis flips to Pennington. The relay to first is in time. A double play. In the second turn of the game, both teams having turned one now. 2 in the books here at the Big A. We have no score. Bottom 3 due up for the Halos. Conger, Borges, and Amarista. It's Tyson Ross, who has 1 strikeout, no walks, 1 hit allowed.
Hyundai key to the game. The kid's all right by the who. Such an important part of this offense, particularly the bottom part of the order, putting the pressure on the defensive side as far as making contact and taking that extra base.
That's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike on Hank Conger. Had a 2-for-4 game, couple of RBIs last night. Hitting .306 with a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in on the season.
Well, a good sign. He's tracking that pitch pretty well, Conger is.
Two on. Conger fouls one at the plate. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a 2-2 from Ross. This one chopped over to second. Ellis has it. And Hank is retired for the first out here to start the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, you can see why it's so difficult for a hitter to be able to pick this up. As it's going through the sunlight, as it gets closer to the batter, it's going into that shade. So your chance to be able to react, which is under normal circumstances, is very quick to begin with. Now all of a sudden you throw in the fact that it goes from sunlight to shade. More difficult to pick up the rotation of the baseball to know when it's a fastball or a breaking pitch.
Borges steps in, shows a bunt, drops a beauty up the third base line. Barehanded by Kuzmanov. Forget about it. Infield base hit for Peter Borges. Extends his hitting streak to 10 games.
Boy, he does have that down in art, working with Alfredo Griffin as far as working that bunt. Perfect bunt down the line. He was even playing in, but still no chance at all. You can see how far in Kuzmanov was playing. But a perfect bunt. No chance. Boy, so quick. Tyson Ross pretty quick to the plate, though. His times the home are right around 1-2, which is very good. Way above average as far as times home.
Alexi Amarista takes a strike. Made his major league debut last night. First at bat, got a double down the line, picked up a couple of runs batted in. Ended the game going 1 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. Takes that pitch way outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. We go back to that at bat for Amarista last night, slicing that double off Brandon McCarthy in the 2nd inning.
Boy, pretty impressive swing there on a pretty nice pitch, too. Down and away, good movement. I'm sure the guys had fun with that baseball there for a while before he was able to take that home.
Bounces this one over to first. Barton touches first base, and Borges is safe at second. Once Barton applied the foot on the bag at first base, no force out at second, so Pennington forced to apply the tag, but Borges able to get in there. Pretty strong throw from Barton as well.
Well, he didn't waste time. He fired out as hard as he could. He knows how fast Borges is. On that knee-to-knee on that slide, Pennington and Borges, both of them winced a little bit when that contact was made. Remember, Pennington got stepped on yesterday on his non-throwing hand with a cleat in his hand, but back in there again today.
Eric Ibar is now at the plate, leadoff man. Swings the first pitch. Bat helicopters down the line. No balls and a strike.
Boy, off-speed pitch. Ibar way out in front of that changeup.
Ibar 0 for 1. He popped down in the first inning. Oh, 1. Ibar gets jammed. A little fly ball to right. De Jesus is there, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. No runs ahead, 1 man left in scoring position. 3 of the books. Oakland still up 1-0. Off here gets Tyson Ross. Ross has made it look rather easily so far through the first 3 innings. 2 hits allowed. He'll face Abreu, Hunter Wells. 2, 3, and 4 for the Angels here in the 4th inning. 1 strikeout for Tyson. No walks.
Well, he had a similar start against the Angels last year here at the Big A, in which he was cruising. I don't even think he gave up a hit into the 4th inning or so. Then all of a sudden got a breaking pitch up and gave up, I think, a home run. Then all of a sudden it fell apart for him. That's when that stamina comes into play as far as stretching it out as a starter, getting consistent work.
He falls behind on Abreu. 2 balls and no strikes. Bobby 0 for 1 with a fly ball to left in his first plate appearance. Three balls and no strikes. Ross pitched 3 games against the Angels last year with 7 2/3, gave up 4 earned runs, and 4.70 ERA. And that's a 4-pitch walk. That was the first 3-ball count that Ross had in this game. The leadoff man is on board. Let's go back to our AT&T trivia question for this afternoon, early evening. We're the only 2 Angels pitchers ever with 20-plus wins in the same season. Nolan Ryan and Bill Singer. Back in 1973.
Nolan Ryan. Well, Singer, though, was a pretty solid pitcher himself.
All over 1973, aren't we? Last night, Frank Tanana.
Good year. I think I just turned 2 that year.
Yeah, didn't you? Bobby bluffs as if he were taking off for second base and kind of angry at himself that he had a breaking ball to take off on. That's 5 straight wide ones for Tyson Ross. 1 ball, no strikes on Torrey. A strikeout victim in the first, so he's 0 for 1. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Boy, it's 6 straight pitches for Tyson Ross. Out of the strike zone. Trying to aim it right now. You can tell when you see a young pitcher trying to force it in the strike zone, it becomes even more difficult. Ron Romanek going to come out and the pitching coach for the A's to talk to him. Ron Romanek was a guy that was consistently in the strike zone himself, not overpowering as a pitcher when he was with the Angels, but a guy that threw a lot of strikes.
The Angels with an opportunity here. Ross having walked Bobby Abreu on 4 pitches and now having fallen behind on Torrey with 2-0. "16 hits last night, 14 of which came against Brandon McCarthy. Season high here at the Big A. Same goes for the 8 runs scored. 2-0 pitch. Torrey grounds one to short. Pennington to Ellis, wheeler to first, to Chapman, double play. Hey, the Angels are hosting a summer concert series presented by SRS Labs in association with Budweiser on select Saturday nights upcoming this summer. You get to choose from Tayo Cruz, Dierks Bentley, Ludacris, Mercy Me, and Neo. You want information on the dates and how to get tickets? All you have to do is log on to angels.com/concerts or just visit the Angels Stadium ticket office. Second double play turned by the Oakland A's in this one as Vernon takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Vernon had a good at bat against Ross last time up. Line drive to left field for an out.
Chops this one to short. Pennington's got it on 2 big hops. Fires to first just like that. You go from 6 balls to start the inning to no damage whatsoever. For the books, Oakland still leads it. Howie Kendrick, Hank Conger here against Tyson Ross. Picked up a couple of double play balls that have been crucial to him. Started off the 4th inning somewhat erratic. 4-pitch walk to Bobby Abreu. Fell behind on Torrey Hunter. 2 balls and no strikes, but then induced the double play off the bat of Torrey, and then got Vernon to ground out to short. The Halos with 2 hits in this one. Alberto Callaspo had a 2nd inning base hit. Peter Borges with a bunt single in a 3rd. This one pulled over to second base. Ellis has it. And there is out number 1. The Crazy Haired Troll Dolls are back on Saturday, May the 7th. The Angels are hosting the Cleveland Indians at 6:05. And all kids 2 to 18 in attendance will receive the Angels Troll courtesy of Haichu. To purchase your tickets today, visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or log on to angels.com.
The troll was everywhere. He was from the second base. He made it up here. That's a good look.
You really got to stop talking to that thing.
Well, he answers me back.
I know. That's the scary part. Howie Kendrick ahead of the count of 1 ball, no strikes. The Troll's a big fan of body art.
Yes, it is.
Breaking ball drops in there, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Howie rolled into a 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd, so he's 0 for 1. That pitch missed outside. Tried to get the breaking ball in there. 2-1. Just inside, it's 3 balls and a strike.
Well, again, when you're facing a tough sinker ball pitcher like this, power sinker that is, you try to get him to elevate. He threw some pitches that were up against Vernon when he walked him and fell behind against Torrey. Then Torrey a little bit over aggressive on that first pitch after 6 straight wide ones.
3-1, lifted in the air down the right field line. Ellis cutting over. De Jesus coming on, and Ellis will make the basket catch at foul territory. For out number 2, Derek Barton decided to watch the whole thing from the infield dirt.
He was directing traffic.
Yes, he was.
Mark Ellis, he was playing up the middle. Derek Barton said, hey, go get it. That's a pretty good play. Yep. They cover a ton of ground for Mark Ellis. Nice job.
So 2 outs here to start the 5th, and here comes Hank Conger. He grounded out to Ellis his first time up. 6 ground ball outs for Tyson Ross.
The amazing thing is 45 pitches thrown.
45 pitches thrown with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Economical, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Check swing. They wanted to peel. He went around, says Mark Carlson. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. It also says you got late life on your pitches down there. Big swing and a miss on the breaking ball. And it's 1-2. Because even when he has allowed the Angels to get into hitters counts, just like that ground ball double play off the bat of Torrey, there's enough movement on that pitch. It looks good right from the hand, but all of a sudden drops out of the zone as Hank goes down swinging. Second strikeout for Tyson Ross. The Angels go down in order again. 5 in the books. Oakland still up 1-0. Aquafina. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angel Stadium ticket office or at angels.com. We were trying to get Gooby to do his best Susan Lucci once again this afternoon, but he has declined.
Well, All My Children has been canceled, so I figured in her honor I wouldn't put it on tonight.
Well, he's a smart man. Peter Borges to lead things off here. The first pitch is a breaking ball down and away. Borges had a beautiful bunt hit up the third base line, so he's 1 for 1, extending his hitting streak to 10 games. That's the longest hitting streak for an Angel this year. And it was his 5th bunt base hit. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And it's 1-1. The Angels, as a team, lead everybody with 7 bunt base hits. That's down low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Can you tell me who the other 2 guys are with bunt base hits?
I think, as I recall, Jeff Mathis?
Negative. Someone slightly larger. 2-1.
Oh,
almost hit him.
Mark Trumbo got a base hit.
Trumbo had one. And Howie.
That's funny. I asked Mike Scioscia about that. He goes, he was up there sacrificing. It was such a good sacrifice bunt. He got a base hit out of it.
Worked out perfectly.
Getting a couple days off right now just to clear the mind, get back to his swing again.
Three-one pitch. Borges takes a strike. Looked like he was taking the whole way. Full count.
Boy, and Tyson Ross doesn't waste a whole lot of time. He stays there with an unusual number. You know the reason why he has that number 66? Because he's 6'6".
There you go.
And he played baseball at 66th Avenue in Oakland.
How about that?
Just that little tidbit for you.
Bishop O'Dowd High School. That's where his brother goes now. Brother's pretty good. 3-2. This one skied out to left. Connor Jackson is there. There is out number 1. Yeah, apparently the senior Joseph Ross, Tyson's brother, same high school that he went to. He signed a letter of intent to go to UCLA, but apparently he's a top prospect.
Some talent in that family.
Yeah. So Borges retired for the first out here, the 6th inning. Here's Alexi Amarista. Amarista takes a big hack there and fouls one back. Alexio for 1. He grounded out to Derek Barton at first base in the 3rd. Lifts this one out toward left center field. A base hit. Amarista takes a big turn at first, stops there, and it's a 1-out knock.
Well, you like to see what he's doing at the plate. That approach is going down and going the other way with that pitch. You try to hold that. That's a ground ball to second base. Stay with it. Trust your hands. Even another good pitch. His first major league hit, that double, was a tough pitch. That one was down. Looked like maybe even been an off-speed pitch. Fooled, but kept the bat through the zone. A lot of times you see a hitter, when they're fooled, like that, the bat's going through along with the hip. But he kept his bat back and fought it off for a base hit. Can run a little bit, too, at first base.
Absolutely. Ibar at the plate. Shows bunt. Takes that pitch almost off the shin. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Eric is 0 for 2 with a pop up to third and a fly ball to right.
Well, he's around there to try to bring that with him, but pulled the bat back at the last second. As that ball was cutting in on him.
That's 2 balls and no strikes. Amarista last year combined for 25 stolen bases between Rancho Cucamonga, Arkansas, and Salt Lake. He had 3 already at the start of this year, Salt Lake City. Two-0 pitch. Caught the corner. 2-1. Connor Jackson shading Ibar the opposite way, so he's shallow and towards the foul line and left. Sweeney in center is shallow. De Jesus straight up and right, trying to battle the sunshine. He's got the glove up there.
And Kuzmanov so close. Ibar could slap it by him there for a base hit.
2-1 pitch rolled foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Twelve pitches thrown by Ross here in the 6th inning, and normally that's not that big a deal, but that's the most pitches he's thrown in any inning in this start. Alfredo Griffin just went over, said something to Alexi Amarista. No throw over yet from Tyson Ross, and Alexi with a pretty good lead over there. Quick throw over, dive back in.
And Ross will use the slide step. He's quick to the plate, but if you're a base runner, you can time exactly when he's thrown home. You can get a good jump. If he only holds the ball for 1 or 2 seconds each time, he falls into a pattern. That's what you try to read, and that's what Alfredo relayed the message to Amarista, that maybe at 2 seconds you can go, because that seems to be the same time he's going home with it.
Big lead for Amarista. Doesn't go. The 2-2 is rolled foul. Alfredo going to his left, knocking it down.
He knew he still had time to make the play, though.
A lot more active this year at first base, isn't he?
He is. I think that,
and I mean that from feeling foul balls. More times than not, there's a lot of coaches that they don't care how slowly they're hit, they stay away from it.
Occasionally that ball hits the hand pretty good, or you look bad when you don't field the ball.
That's right. And of course, there's no ragging going on between the coaches either. Quick throw to first.
Never. It's never brought up, especially on the bus or the plane.
Yeah. Kind of happened last night. As a matter of fact, I found out today Dino Evil kind of slipped at third base, coach's box. They were kind of goofing on each other, trying to give him a little grief, and all of a sudden, Rob Piccolo in the dugout fell down the steps, trying to field that ball. Two-two. Ibar protecting there, reaches out. He's got a piece of that one.
What if he hit him foul on the backswing? And dirt come up. Well, that's a pretty good sinking fastball. That ball's not even close to a strike that you have to protect because of that late movement.
That's just dirt that came up and got Powell. He's all right. Amarista on at first base with a 1-out base hit to left center field. Ibar here still battling Tyson Ross with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. The Halos have had one man in scoring position. That was Peter Borges, who got to second in the third inning, but he was stranded there. Chopper over the mound. Pennington fields it at the bag, throws on to first, and just like that, it's a double play that ends the inning. The third turn by Oakland this afternoon. Through 6, Angels still trailing. Widely considered the first Angel.
Number 1 choice, Eli Gerba.
Eli Gerba was the first Angel ever picked, an expansion draft from the Yankee team.
He was a competitor, and he had a tremendous live arm.
And of course, Eli was the opening day pitcher, won the game, and they beat the Orioles for their first win ever, which is fabulous.
Bottom of the 7th, we'll take a look at Eli Gerba, the first pick in the Angels expansion draft back in December of 1960. First game ever on April the 1st. April the 11th, pardon me, 1961.
I like a last name like that. That's a good name.
You like
I can relate.
Dan Herron apparently is done after his strong 7 innings. Finished strong for sure. Retired the last 8 in a row. Ended up picking up 5 strikeouts and walking 2.
Well, it was that conversation he had with Hank Conger and Mike Butcher. He seemed to lock it in from that point forward.
Halo's trying to figure out Tyson Ross here. Have 2, 3, and 4. Abreu, Hunter, and Wells. The first pitch is in there for a strike. The last time that Abreu led off the inning was the 4th. He took 4 pitches, ended up getting a leadoff walk. The only walk issued by Ross, but then that was it. The Angels couldn't do anything with him. The pitch is down and in. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
The pattern that Ross seems to fall into, though, his first pitch fastball is generally going to be a 4-seam straighter fastball than that power sinker. So he wants to get that first pitch over. So that's where you might want to jump on that heater.
Breaking ball down and in. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And now, with everybody in the shade, pitcher's mound, hitter's area, a better opportunity to see his pitches. That's down low. 3 balls and 1 strike. But Tyson Ross, when he has needed it, has gotten that crucial ground out, that double play ball. 3 double plays turned in this game by the A's behind Ross.
And just like with McCarthy, with a sinking fastball, if it's at the knees, you got to let it go.
3-1. Bobby bounces one over to first. Barton will feed Ross, and there is out number 1. Another ground ball out for Tyson Ross. With 1 out here in the 7th. Torrey Hunter will step to the plate.
Tyson Ross, that power fastball at 95. He's also thrown a changeup at 83. So not a big spread as far as speed differential for him, but it's been the sink on the fastball that's been very effective.
Torrey takes a breaking ball in for a strike. Torrey swinging a fastball off the plate. Is in the hole now at no balls, 2 strikes. Hunter 0 for 2. Coming up that 3 for 5 game last night. Torrey has struck out and grounded into a double play in the 4th. And he got Hunter swinging. There are 2 outs. 3rd strikeout of the game for Tyson Ross. Action continuing. Fernando Rodney's up instead of Rich Thompson. Vernon Wells steps in here with 2 outs and nobody on. His Herron is more than likely done. Wells 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left. It was well struck in the 2nd inning. And he grounded out to short. Vernon takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Kuzminoff now playing in. They're guarding the line at 3rd base. Great shot of that. Pennington playing toward the hole at short. The 0-1 pitch chopped toward the middle, and that's going to go into center field, a base hit. Pitching against his defense there. And Vernon is on board with a 2-out knock and keeps the inning alive for Alberto Callaspo.
It looked like it was a slider. You could see by the spin. Foxmo will show that one. And again, when you got the guys playing on that part of the field, you're going to go fastballs in. You're anticipating. Instead, got a slider out over the plate. They're not in position to make that play. The ball wasn't hit necessarily hard, but it was hit where they're not playing because he pitched against his defense. Power sinker.
Yeah, Ron Romanek, the pitching coach, is out. He's thrown 73 pitches as Tyson Ross. But this is just a stall tactic to get the bullpen going for Oakland. Grant Balfour is up and loosening. Have not seen him in this series. Fireballing Australia. Alberto 1 for 2 with a base hit and a ground out. That one gets by Powell, and Wells will advance to second on the wild pitch.
Again, Dino Ebel will challenge the outfield arms of Oakland. Looks now with a runner in scoring position, overthrew that fastball. Ball was well in front of the plate and hits the shin guard of Landon Powell, gets away from him. Now Vernon Wells in scoring position here. See if the Angels can take advantage of that.
Second man to reach scoring position. The other board just in the third inning. 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Right hand hitting Howie Kendrick on deck. Long pause for Ross, the 2-0. Alberto pulls one to the right side. Ellis has it. That will end the inning. And the Angels leave a man in scoring position. 7 of the books. Oakland still leads it 1-0.